The indie comic book publisher Rippaverse brings us Yaira number 3, their ongoing series featuring their femme fatale superhero who will punch first and ask questions later. Here is your spoiler free review of Yaira number 3. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. If you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where different subscriptions unlock different perks. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you in advance. And I will now read my spoiler-free review of Yaira number 3 from my aforementioned website. The third issue of Yaira has arrived from the indie comic book publisher Rippaverse. Jin and Sylvia Saska return as the writers, with illustrator Deborah Carita returning to tackle the artwork. Yaira encounters Alpha Core once again and is confronted by Stefania, who plans on taking Yaira out. The battle is stopped thanks to the help of her friend Yeshua. Yaira and Yeshua know they have to stop the alien mage Magus Kunzite before she raises an undead army from the undersea ruins of Atlantis. Yaira prepares for an epic battle, but Alpha Core will not stop their meddling. Once again, I had trouble deciding which cover to go with because they were all incredible. This time around, I went with cover D by Jack Herbert and Marcus Martins. To me, it captures the raw power of Yaira and the defiance she has in the face of great odds. Carita is a talented illustrator and she puts her best effort into this issue. Yaira has faced many trials and Carita does an amazing job bringing that to life. I especially enjoyed the sequences where Yaira uses her power to enter the astral plane to do some battle. That was peak artwork for this issue. Of course, the Saska sisters are continuing to build the tension. They are amazing at escalating the story of Yaira. She has gone from losing her home to her family to her allies, and now she is targeted by the heroic Alpha Core and the villainous Butte's Void. Pain seems to be a part of her life, and the Twisted Twins want readers to share that pain. They do that excellently, pulling you into this release. It was non-stop action and one you should purchase. Yaira is my favorite character in the Rippaverse, and this tale only solidifies that. I cannot wait to see what is next for her, no matter how painful. Now, just to expand on that, Carita is incredibly talented as an artist, and this one definitely had a lot of really cool sequences within the art. To illustrate, I have my copy right here, and I just love how she does this. She uses these kind of clear colors for when the characters are above ground, and then as you can see when they go underwater, she uses kind of a dark haze, a dark palette, so you can tell the difference between being on land and below ground. That is something a lot of artists are lazy and just kind of change tints. Not her. She actually changes the whole vibe of it and it looks really cool. One thing I didn't mention in my written review, but I want to mention here, and don't worry, this is not a spoiler, but there is a dark new threat that is coming to challenge Yaira. Carita does a great job illustrating that character, and I am curious to see how that's going to play out in the plot. Speaking of the plot, Jin and Sylvia are amazing. They are master storytellers. It is no wonder that they are the lore masters at Rippaverse Publishing because they know about lore. This just keeps escalating, and not once have I felt overwhelmed by what is going on. I just keep going, whoa, what happens next? Whoa, what happens next? Whoa, what happens next? That is my attitude throughout this entire story. It is solid, it is well written, and the Rippaverse just continues to exceed my expectations. That is something I like about the Rippaverse. They don't try to subvert your expectations like, say, other companies might. They instead want to exceed your expectations, or at the very least, match them. And I can honestly say my expectations have always been blown away by Rippaverse releases, and that is true of Yaira number 3. These stories just keep getting more and more intense with twists, turns, betrayals, and new friendships and allies. I would love to see Yaira cross over with other characters within the Rippaverse. So far, she's only really met Isom and the Alpha Core, but I'm curious, what would Yaira do against Bloodruth? After all, Yaira, she has great strength, she has great energy-based powers, but she also has some magical abilities. Bloodruth is all about magic. She is really powerful. She is a Beastmaster. She can create all kinds of energy-based weapons. So I would love to see the two of them clash. But in the classic sort of Batman and Wonder Woman team up, I would actually love to see the Horsemen team up with Yaira. The Horseman and Yaira would make such a great collaboration. I could see them working together with his sort of grit, his grounded determination and stopping crime and getting revenge. And then Yaira's, like I said, punch first and take names later. I could see them getting along and solving crime and defeating some bad guys. Now, of course, we've already been given hints that Yaira is going to cross over with Zaylin. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out because Zaylin is one solid and cool character. I love that cosmic aspect of the Rippaverse. But back to Yaira, I really would like to see how this plays out. She doesn't really have a lot of side characters as far as allies in her superhero persona as Yaira, but she does as Dr. Sally Rodell. Perhaps we could see Yaira interact with other characters and superheroes within her space. That would be really cool. I mean, besides Alpha Core, obviously she collabs with Alpha Core a great deal, or I should say she fights Alpha Core a great deal, but I would like to see even more crossovers with her. And that's my review of Yaira number 3, the latest from Rippaverse Publishing. They are doing so many projects this year. I cannot wait to see what is in store, what comes next. I think it's going to be one great thrill ride. And let me know in the comments section below, who is your favorite Rippaverse character and where would you like to see them go? Would you like to see them cross over with Yaira, whoever they are? Please let me know. I would love to hear. I love hearing from my fellow Rippaverse fans. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends. Like I said, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. And for those of you who do watch me on YouTube, please do engage. For some reason, YouTube is counting engagement as views. That's ridiculous, but I would appreciate it if you did do all of that. If you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where you can find even more pop culture stuff as well as reviews of Rippaverse releases. You can subscribe at different tiers that unlock different perks, including being able to choose the topic for the website. And for this vidcast, I've actually done a couple of videos based on that. Limitations apply, but thank you in advance to all who do. At the conveniently titled Buy My Books section of my website, you can buy my books. You can get one or all 4. I've got links all over the place, but they're all on Amazon. Check them out. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake. 'Cause I've been living